Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, I tested every layup in NBA 2K24 so you don't have to. And when I say every, I mean every. As you can see, we have my first set of looking at things. That was the swings. We got DeRozan, Butler, Gervin, Harden, Westbrook, LaMelo Ball, Simmons, all this stuff. Kobe, Luka, LeBron, all the way down. Everything possible. Then went to another team. We got Rose, Young, all the guard restricted ones. And then as you can see, all the big restricted ones too, between Giannis, Jokic, all this stuff. Randall, Zion, Embiid. Then I was like, oh, we missed a couple. So we got Ja Morant, Fox, Sabonis, and Levine. These were ones that I couldn't actually get on the build. And then same with Curry as well. I don't know why I didn't save, but I had Curry on here as well. But anyway, we have tested all of these, and now I'm going to go ahead and take you to a little graphic that's going to make it easier to read, and I have graded every single animation in these between their X button into the floater, the scoop, the spin, the hop, and the Euro. I've tested all of them, and I've graded them on a letter grade base. So let's go pan over that real quick. Alright, so real quick, here you can see I have all of the top ones that I've tested. These are the top 15 in my opinion. Now, in red, we have big man restricted ones. In green, we have guard restricted ones. Now, for the blue, that's like you could be a swing or a guard. There aren't any that are actually like swing restricted as far as my knowledge goes. I think KD might be the only one that's just purely swing restricted, and KD was garbage. It was like the worst one I tested. Zion is one where you can run it as a swing and a big, and then again, for the most part, these blue ones are just all that you can run as a small guard or a wing build, whatever you want to do. But the small guard restricted ones that were actually good, we had Curry, that was an insane floater. I have to already show you guys like this Sabonis one too. I'll show you the clip in just a second here. And some of these crazy animations I will show you guys actual footage of, but for the most part, this is going to be a very, very long video. So we're going to try and, stay constricted on some of the things that we're going to be talking about. But let me go ahead and pan over to my actual text that I wrote down for everything. In case you guys just want to see this for yourself, you can pause it in certain spots if you want to see the more analytical spots of every layup that I tested. But again, this screen right here we're going to be on for the most part is just the top 15 that I have tested and will vouch for in my personal opinion. All right, so like I said, I'm just going to pan through this for a good a good pace of a scroll that we're just going to go ahead and scroll at the exact same rate of pretty much, so you can see every single one that I tested as far as what's left out. I left out Westbrook. I didn't like. KD was terrible. Kobe, it was okay. It was there was some variance to it. Again, I have a couple explanations on some of these. LaMelo was a very troll one where the X button was doing crazy stuff, and I didn't like it quite as much. Mitchell was a good variance between the floaters. If it's at its best, it was looking good, but some of them did varied quite a bit. If I had this face on it, it was really stood out as something that was really interesting and different than a lot of other things. And then if it was green, then that means it was one of the best that we had. And Star was just something I wanted to put in the video for sure. So Jordan, it was okay. The gathers stood out to me for Jordan as collectively they were all pretty good. For the guard restricted ones, it wasn't showing Curry and Ja as something I could get for the players, so just keep that in mind. But Ja is in the builder for sure. I found out Curry is actually starter 3 restricted, so you have to hit starter 3. And then I found out Sabonis is going to be season locked as well. So that's why you're not going to be seeing that as something you could put on your build. But boy, are those two absolutely insane. Fox, pretty solid all around. Levine, it's not the same with the Euro as it was last year, so it's not really something I thought was really worth putting you guys onto. Poole, nothing crazy. Lillard, nothing crazy. It was just something I wanted to kind of quickly skip through since I noticed they weren't really that good and it wasn't worth my time of actually graphing them out. For the Curry, you can see I have the floater as amazing. X button also good, and scoops were the best in the game too. I should have put the green or the star on it, or whatever you want to call it. It's the best scoop that there is in the game as well. And then its gathers were also decent with the hop and Euro. Fox, again, I'm just showing you guys some of this stuff because I want you to be able to see everything. So Iverson, it was pretty troll. The X button layup had you flipping the ball up to yourself and it would convert the layup after. It was really crazy troll. But anyway, Derrick Rose was also one that it's like floater specialist pretty much, where the floaters are good, the hops are floaters, and the Euros are floaters. It's really weird. It was something where it's purely just a floater based layup animation. Anyway, Trae Young, really good all across the board. Default big was looking really good for the value of it, just off the fact that it's a good budget one. Zion had some good gathers as well with an A- spin and an A hop. The Euro was okay at a B. Jokic floater was really good too. Giannis stood out to me as one that had no weaknesses. It had an A- Euro, an A hop, A spin, good scoop, good floater, and good X button lay. Embiid, solid one again for the bigs that maybe like want to go a little bit more layup, like, you know, in the mid 70s, something like that. Randall, decent with the gathers. Like, as you can see, I had them all at like A minus, stuff like that. The X button floater weren't really that good. Default swing is significantly better than default small. So if you're here to figure out the budgeting on yours, default swing definitely better than default small, because you can get both of these as a small guard or a wing, no matter what you like are doing as far as that goes. And then Sabonis, I had the floater at A++++. Now let me show you guys this one real quick, and then we'll get into the whole, like, you know, screen and talk about what you get out of every layup animation. All right, so check this out. I'm gonna show you guys some of the best animations in my opinion, but look at this Sabonis floater, bro. This is insane. It's crazy range. It's literally the best animation I've seen in this whole test right here. Being able to flick something up from a floater at this exact range right here is crazy, bro. This is your driving layup rating, mind you. So to be able to do this from this far away from the basket as a big man, that would be insane. And I went and looked at it on 2K Labs. Let's actually go show you this real quick too, because it's very convenient information to see. All right, so for you guys, if you load this up on their website on your PC or tablet or phone, whatever it is, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to see, because I have to not allow you guys to see my email, so I have to keep it at a certain zoom. But anyway, with this, you're gonna see you can sort by, this is the driving layup. Like, as you can see, that's the driving layup. You're gonna be able to see the height requirements and stuff like that too, of the minimum height, maximum height. So all this stuff, you can also even have it sorted by, as you can see, the driving layup requirements. So we got things like Giannis, you know, LeBron, Kobe, all that stuff. Luka as the high ones. Ja Morant was a good guard one as well. So yeah, for the most part, I have tested literally every single one of these. But then, like, for instance, if you want to know about ones that you can't even see yet, Domantas Sabonis is not available to us to actually like equip on our builds or anything like that. But as you can see, it's a 78 requirement, and it has to be 6'10" to 7'3". So that's pretty fire that we're gonna have that news, because these guys got a template of all the attribute requirements for these animations at the 2K day, like the community day, right? So yeah, they have some sauce that we as regular people do not. So if you want to check this out, 2K Labs has this stuff, and if you want to see the premium, there are some things on here, like, as you can see, the jump shot bases, the jump shot releases, dribble grades, all that stuff. And you know what? This is gonna be a banger video. This is gonna be a lot of people watching this. So let's go ahead and just run the 2K Labs plug right now. Also, if you guys didn't know, I'm pairing up with the NBA 2K Lab this year, so you can use code Laker for 20% off at checkout at their website. That's NBA2KLab.com. On this website is all types of really good statistical jump shot information. You can also test the jumpers on their website too. Plug the controller straight into your phone or to your PC. You can get early, green, late. It'll tell you where you need to adjust on that jump shot. Or if you don't know what jumper you want to run, you just go to their jump shot recommender. You punch in your height, the jump shot rating that you're working with, and then based on the milliseconds of timing that you get, it'll recommend you a jump shot. So again, if you want to use code Laker for 20% off at checkout, that's NBA2KLab.com. Appreciate you guys, and we'll get back to the video. All right, so let's get back to the video. We have a lot of stuff on demand here that we're going to be explaining and talking about, and what you should be looking for out of your layup packages yourself. So again, all of those things noted. If you want to pull up aside, like next to this video, or maybe just on another tab, or like on a PC while you're looking at this on your phone, if you want to see all the layup requirements, you can. I'll give you guys a general benchmark of all these stuff off my memory, essentially. But I do know for the bigs, let's start with the bigs. Sabonis was in that mid 70s range. Embiid is 78, if I recall. It might be 79. Giannis was 88 on the dot. Jokic is also in that 70s range, I believe. I think it might be, yeah, around like 80-ish. And then default big you get by default. So let's just go over the bigs real quick, and we'll rule out that as we like move along. And then also you can get Zion as a big as well, if that's worth mentioning. So Zion had some good versatility to it, as I mentioned. You have a A-X button with a floater on a B+, scoop A-, and then the gathers all collectively pretty solid. You can see things like Jokic, they stand out as terrible for the spins, but this is more of like an outside center kind of oriented layup package, if you ask me in the first place. The floater, really good. X button, solid. It like transitions into floater sometimes too. And then the scoop is okay. Euro, also solid. But yeah, for the hops and spins, terrible. Default big, kind of in the same breath of like, it's not great for, you know, the gathers by any means. But as far as your X button and floater, it's looking really good. Default big is amazing value as far as the floaters go. Now, when Sabonis hits these 2K streets, it's going to break the game, in my opinion. I mean, we already showcased just literally that clip of showing what it looks like. That's crazy. A+++. Gotta be. On top of that, Sabonis also still had a good hop, good Euro, decent spin, not anything super crazy, and then good X button layups that also transition into floaters, same way that default big sometimes does too. And then for Embiid, good gathers, same with Giannis, good gathers. And if you guys referenced like the tweet, like stuff that I showed of the text of me writing all this stuff down step by step, Randall had some good gathers as well, but its X button and floaters were just really unusable in my opinion in terms of comparing it to these two right here. But yeah, Embiid, affordable. I would say Jokic also pretty affordable. Default big, literally the most affordable big man one you can get. Zion you get at 70 layup as well. And then yeah, Sabonis affordable for sure if you want to plan accordingly. I would tell you guys, if you want to make like a layup big man build, go 80 lay. You're gonna get fearless finisher just through your like strength being up anyway. And then on top of that too, you get the Hoff Pro Touch and as I mentioned, the silver fearless finisher. I think that's going to be fire, not to mention pair that with the fact that you will get this Sabonis one eventually whenever it gets dropped in whatever season it's going to be. So we're unfortunately going to have to play the waiting game on that, but you'll get everything that's here except for the Giannis if you go with 80 driving layup as a big man. So moving along into the wings ones, as you can see we have Jimmy Butler. It's going to be one of the favorite ones I have as far as if you want to be a floater type kind of scoop type guy. And this is what initially sparked this idea of me doing this video in the first place. Tonic, we're going to have him make like a layup lock. And we'll talk about that in a very, very soon video. It might even be tomorrow. But the layup locks are going to start taking over this game, in my opinion. Coming out the corner, being a threat with your 80 driving lay. And Jimmy Butler, you can get with that. I believe it's a 78 or a 79 requirement. Okay, yeah, and just to fact check everything, DeRozan is 81, Jimmy Butler is 79, Embiid 78, Jokic 78, and then Sabonis also 78. So 78 to 80-ish layup, it will give you a lot of the stuff that you want that I'm going to be referencing in this video. So anyway, back to this. Again, Jimmy Butler, great floater. Super, super good floater. Luka was on par with it as a really good one too and has a better X button in my opinion as well, but it's a little bit more demanding of the rating. It's a pretty high 80s if I recall. Harden, great Euro as well. And speaking of Euros, DeRozan was God with the Euros. It's something I actually peeped like really early in this game when it's like the new Zach LaVine Euro. It has crazy sweeping range when you're doing Euros. Now, unfortunately, it's pretty bad at everything else, but I had to put it on here in this like top 15 just off the fact that it has a very unique and special Euro. And it's definitely worth mentioning and has to be in this like realm of the best. But if you want a more complete, layup package that still has a good Euro, Harden is definitely something you may want to look into. And yeah, so pretty much Jimmy Butler stands out as the floater demon for like the budget layups, essentially. DeRozan standing out as the Euro beast. And then we have obviously like Harden, also a good Euro with a good complete set as far as the layups. Luka as something really good for the X buttons if you're a wing build that, you have a higher layup essentially. And then still has a great floater and great gathers as well. Or I would say like more like good gathers. Jordan, great gathers, but not a very good X button and the scoop is really bad. Floater decent though. So if you want something that's maybe more in that range, Jordan is pretty good for you. And then if you're someone that, as we mentioned, has like a low layup guard or a low layup wing build, default swing is looking really, really good in terms of like its overall greatness. Like X button was looking really good and quick and efficient. Floater, pretty solid. Scoop, really good. Spin and hop, both really good. Euro was pretty bad though, in my opinion. But besides that, let's talk about the small guards now. So we have Curry standing out as the absolute best. Let me go ahead and just pan over back to the gameplay Elgato, and I'll show you guys what this floater looks like. All right, so with Curry, it may take us a second to get this animation that I'm shooting for. Actually, no, I get it on literally the first try. Okay, so pretty much this floater animation right here is just some crazy, crazy stuff. I mean, you're getting it as like a ranged floater that's also like doing it as a step back for that matter. I mean, that's pretty fire, bro. Like this right here, for it to be doing a step back, in case anybody's curious, I'm not really doing anything to trigger this. I'm literally just running down into the hoop and boom, you get it. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. It's the kind of the downside to it, obviously. But yeah, as far as like what stands out with this, I think it looks really fire, and its regular floaters in general are still pretty good. His scoop layups were really good as well, as you can see, as a unique scoop. On top of that, his X buttons are good. His Euro, you get this little behind the back right here as well. So overall, Curry, really good. I know you guys probably wish I would show some more gameplay on this stuff, but again, it's gonna be an extremely long video if I'm detailing every layup package that we have. But you know what? Let me just go ahead and keep doing it. So we're gonna go over to the DeRozan real quick, and I'll show you guys that. So let's show the DeRozan off real quick, and I'll show the Jimmy Butler floater. We'll get the really important, intricate ones that I really want to showcase to you guys. So let's go ahead and go to DeRozan first. I'm gonna show you guys this Euro. So again, with this one, you're gonna be sweeping across the court. Look at that crazy, crazy range on that, bro. That is insane to be popping that off. And again, you need, I believe, like I said, an 81 driving layup for that. let's go over to, we can just show the James Harden Euro as well. So in its same breath, we have a really quick one that transitions into the dunks really clean. So if you want quickness out of your Euro anyway over range, then Harden is what you're looking for as far as a Euro lay anyway. And as you can see, again, that's fire. That's really, really good. Besides that, we have Luka. I'll show you guys the X button lay with Luka real quick. So this one stood out to me as one of the best that you can get as the wings for sure when it comes to the X button. So just to run in there and hold your X, it's really quick, efficient, and clean. Simple as that. You get a lot of different animations that come with it, but most of them are very quick and efficient. You don't really have to deal with any of the extra BS that let's go ahead and show you, for instance, what the Iverson looks like. I believe he's on this team. Okay, no, we're gonna have to wait till the next team. But anyway, other than that, we have the Jimmy Butler. So let's show you the Jimmy Butler floater real quick. And I believe that's all we need to do as far as this team right here. So Jimmy floater, in my opinion, it was really good and quick and rangy. So like, to give you kind of a vision of what I had for this, it was going to be something where you can kind of use it out the corner. And as you can see, it floats it up really high in the air. It's not the same power and quality that you get out of a Curry per se, or like, for instance, the, Domantas Sabonis one that we showcased. But for what we have available to us, I'm looking for something you can do while also having an inside big man camping paint. And in my opinion, it's going to be really hard for someone who's defending a center in the paint to get at something like this, where you can float it up really high in the air. It's decent range. It's not the same range as Sabonis, obviously. We're not doing it from freaking 2 feet inside the three-point line, but it looks pretty good, in my opinion. So, moving into the guard and big man restricted ones, let's go ahead and load this up and just go ahead and get to some of the ones that we want to show you guys. So, like for D-Rose, for instance, this is going to be his hop. You can see it's more of like a floater type hop, where it does get you a little bit closer range, obviously, but it's doing the hop, and then it does like a kind of push shot right there. Same with, we'll even show the Euro as well. If you go with the Euro, it's going to be a little bit more of like a floated up in the air one, and then his actual floater animation, it kind of like stops on a dime. That's one that you generally just get off any, but yeah, this one right here, it's going to be like a stop on the dime and just shoot from range. So with default big, I want to show you guys this floater as well. With the default big one, you can also still get some crazy floaters with this. And I gotta say, like, as an inside big man who wants to maybe take advantage of some range and, become a threat. And you know what? This is what they asked for, bro. This is what they asked for our dunk meter to be terrible and make driving layups super OP broken. Well, here you go. I mean, we're going to be on a pure inside build, shooting from this kind of range and still being able to green them super easy, because that's just how this game is with the driving layups. So there you are. That's default big for you. And you can get that with almost anything, as I mentioned. Other than that, I want to show you Allen Iverson. This looks hilarious, bro. Look at this X button lay on this. It floated up in the air. It's terrible. It's the worst one you could possibly have in the game, but it's troll. It's funny. It's different. It looks cool, I guess. But yeah, besides that, I guess we could also show Jokic's floater and all that stuff too. So with the Jokic floater, this one's gonna be really good as well. It's kind of the same breadth as like default big, so as you can see, it floats pretty high up in the air. It's like a really good one. You can still do it from pretty good range, but it's not that Sabonis range by any means. That Sabonis layup is gonna be so built different with the floaters, bro. It's actually insane. But yeah, Jokic looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and finalize this video and come back to the screen real quick of showing you guys my top 15. Actually, my bad. I had one more that we have to show, and that's going to be the Trae Young. So with Trae Young, as far as his X button, it's going to be pretty good and quick, efficient, as you can see. For the Trae Young floater, it's also really still solid. It wasn't one of the best in the game, in my opinion, but that's unfortunately a jump shot right there. But it's not one of the best in the game. Like, it was still an A+, but there are so many good floater animations in this game between, the Sabonis and the Curry and all that stuff. So Trae is still a very usable one. It's like the same ability as, let's say, like a Jimmy Butler, where it's still an A+, but it's not some freaky, crazy stuff that's going to be shooting from, like, 22 feet out or something like that. So anyway, yeah, that's the Trae. That's the Trae right there. We can also show like his scoop, for instance. It's a pretty good one overall. I could still show you guys things like the hop, spin, Euro, all that stuff. But I mean, for the most part, like I said, this is going to be a pretty long video as is. So anyway, again, Curry is going to be a starter 3 rep thing that you have to hit. Sabonis is season tied. That's why the asterisks are on these two right here. And again, they're color coded for like red being bigs, purple being swing and big, blue being swings and guards, and then green being just guards as far as my top 15 here. So yeah, Curry overall had a great hop, great Euro. The Euro is the one that goes like behind the back. It'll chain into dunks really good if you happen to have dunk on your build as well. Spin looking good, scoop looking amazing. It's the best one in the game in my opinion. As you can see, I don't have any other scoops in this that are ranked A plus, besides like Trey was an A as well. And then we had Zion as like an A minus, Harden as A minus, a lot of A's and A minuses. But Curry stands out to me as the best scoop, period. And then again, it's floater, insane as well. So D-Rose, we already mentioned, great floaters all around between the hop, the float, the Euro, stuff like that. Trey, good overall. So that is all for the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all that good stuff. And like always, try to win 2,000 likes. I would really appreciate if this one could get to 2,000 likes. This is by far the most work I have put into a video all year, probably compared to even last year too. Again, last year I just tested swings ones. Like I didn't even do the small guard or the big restricted ones because that was just the build I was on, so I was just testing the swings for myself. This one I did for the community. I absolutely tried to put on for the community and let everybody know what layup is the one for you. So if you guys could drop a like, I took like literally, no joke, 6 to 7 hours to put this video together. It may even be more. I was watching movies while like testing this stuff out, which, you know, it was able to get me through the grind of this stuff a little bit as well. And don't think that means that, you know, my focus on this was lack at all. I absolutely was still paying attention to my own evaluation on what they all do and what their value is. But again, this was a lot of work. I did literally almost every layup in the game, minus maybe like 4 that we didn't test. But anyway, that's off video. Hope you all enjoyed. And if you made it to the very end of this video, put lay in the comments. George Perch my way through. Anyway, that's off video. Again, if you guys want to check out NBA2KLab.com and use code Laker for 20% off, it would be really a big deal for me. It's been a huge game changer for me to be partnered with them this year as far as revenue stuff for me. And overall, it's really good information. I mean, you got like the jump shot testers. They're going to get to dribble pull-ups pretty soon as well. You got the bases, uppers, all that stuff that's getting tested. And if you want to check out the animations and stuff like that, the requirements or badge requirements, all that stuff is already for free as well. So premium is going to give you the jump shot data as well. Anyway, that's all video. And on that, take it easy, man. Peace.